Hey guys, Bulby Bollinger here, and today I'll be giving you my Pokemon Sun and Moon trailer analysis now that the new one has been revealed. Let's start. First of all, Solgaleo,'s name has become official, and it's a Psychic Steel type, and its ability is Full Metal Body. Now, what does Full Metal Body do? It basically prevents any status changes in your Pokemon from the opponent. Which is basically a rip-off of something that already exists. In fact, Full Metal Body might already exist. I am not certain. There's something similar to it, though. And it learns Sun Steel Strike as its signature move. Now that's where this thing goes Super Saiyan, like, it literally turns gold. Jumps up, the sun throws it at its enemy or something, and it bashes into it and kills it or something. So, obviously, a kind of powerful move, possibly a charging one, which will absolutely ruin the move, but moving on. So, obviously, the scientific attacker. And then there's Lunala, the obvious special attacker, a psychic ghost type, you go girl, I assume girl, and its ability is Shadow Shield. Now, I don't know quite what that does, they haven't confirmed it yet, but I assume it's the same thing as Solgaleo's. Disappointing, but yeah. And it learns Moongeist Beam, which is that cool move we saw earlier, partway through, where it charges up, and now you can see that it then shoots a blue beam of death. That's basically the best way I can describe it. At its enemy and murders them. Fun. Then we get to see every single island. This trailer has a lot, guys. All the islands of the whole region, we assume. I'll be going through each island one at a time. First of all, we have this island now. This island is really interesting. At first I thought, this is where we get our rock types, our fighting types, our ground types. Then I realized, wait a second, what's this? This right here is actually, whoa, uh-oh, get it, back, okay. This place is actually really interesting, because it's so out of place. I thought, what is that doing here, that little pyramid? Then I realized, oh my god, there's a pillar. This is where we get our legendary Pokemon. That is exactly where we are going to get our legendary Pokemon. And that is awesome. And then there's some tree right above it. I don't know what that's for. Maybe something important. And, of course, you can see there's this little baby island underneath it. Probably not too important. Although I will say, it looks like they copy and pasted it from Dragon Quest Monsters Joker. It really does. Moving along to the next island is the island you start out in, obviously. Now, we've seen it. We kind of went over it, so there's nothing too unholy important here. I will note that I think this golden building is going to be the gym. I really think it's going to be the gym, but it could be this really tall one with a waterfall or something coming out of it. I don't know. Let's just assume that golden one's the gym, and then, right here, we have a Pokemon breeding center, I'm very certain. I mean, there's a fence around it. There's a really long straightaway that keeps going and going and going, and then you just have to make one turn, and then you get another straightaway that's going and going and going. Then you turn back, make your turn, go back all the way, and by then you'll have hatched about 5 eggs or something. It's a big place. I mean, we've seen it before, so moving along. Now this island, if any of these islands is going to represent Hawaii as a whole, it's this one. This is the most Hawaiian thing I could think of. There's even a freaking golf course over here or something. Now, first thing you notice is this place has a lot of steam or smoke coming out of it. So, obviously, it's where you're going to be getting your fire-type Pokemon for the region. And the next place you notice is this really cool and honestly beautiful place. Like, look at this. I look forward to exploring this. I look forward to seeing what they do with it. It looks amazing. And there's nothing really else of too much interest here. Next island, the big one, and really a cool one. Obviously, first thing you notice is this giant ice place, which they probably just plopped there so they could put ice-type Pokemon in the game. Either way, it's kind of cool, and it gives the air that, yeah, this is probably going to be important to the story's plot. Not the big place for the plot, but it's going to be somewhat important to the plot. Next thing we have is, I think, this. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it better. This place right here, this place that looks a lot like Attack on Titan, I honestly think is going to be, I think it could be the Elite Four. It's a really cool place. It's really intimidating. Maybe it's for the evil team. I don't know. It's a really cool place. I look forward to exploring that more than anywhere else in this entire region. Moving along to the next place is, obviously, last. Now this, I think, has the absolute best chance of being the Elite Four. I mean, I'll zoom in again. You can see back here what appears to be a dragon head with 4 pillars. Obviously, a very good place for the Elite Four. You also have this platform here, which looks amazing for a champion battle, by the way. Now, the rest of this could also be a Battle Frontier or a shopping mall or something. Another thing I'm thinking is that this whole place, the whole place, could be a memorial for, of course, Pearl Harbor. Now, if they're going to do that, I don't want America glorified or Japan glorified. I just want them saying, brave soldiers died here, or something like that. That will work. That will suffice. Don't risk upsetting people over this. It's not worth it. Then we move on. Choose your heroes. Customization's back, much to nobody's surprise. I must say that girl looks lame, but luckily you can customize her. Then Kukui's professor, no big deal. One thing I noticed is, at first I was excited because, oh my god, we have a video icon. Then I realized, oh wait, that red button means it's probably for this. And I was a little bit disappointed, but maybe there's more to it than that. Not used to talking this much. Then we have Lili. I'll call her Lily, because that's logical. She's Kukui's mysterious assistant. The presence of the word mysterious basically means one of two things. A, she has something to do with the evil team. And B, she has something to do with the legendary Pokemon. That's basically it. She could be the region's champion too, but Kukui's assistant is the region's champion. Doesn't sound quite right. I hope this isn't the region's champion, because she looks lackluster. It would be like when Iris became the champion. I just thought, oh my god, you're going to be a walk in the park. And she was. So hopefully Lily is not the champion. Hopefully she's just either part of the evil team or has something to do with the legendary Pokemon. Next is your rival, How, I think? Who's very obviously not going to be a Gary or Silver. He's obviously going to be a very lame rival. Hopefully his Pokemon team is challenging enough to make up for that, but don't get your hopes up. Especially when he says, "Hooey, that gave me chicken skin." Is this what Japan thinks of us Americans? I mean, I know we're not the smartest of people, but we're not that bad. Ugh. Next up is this one. Caught everybody by surprise. Nobody saw this one coming. A Rotom in your Pokédex. This shocked everyone. This is too much. This is incredible. Even more, it says something. Zert, nice to meet you, pal. Gentle on the goods, okay? Now, what you might think first is. What you might think at first is, oh, this is just a gimmick, yada yada yada. But this is actually something more than that, because think of this. We have a Pokemon that right here, right in front of us, is speaking English. What's more is, they even say what I think it is. A whole new way for people and Pokemon to communicate. So we have a Pokemon speaking English to us, and what this almost certainly means is we have a Pokemon translator. When our Litten tells us to screw off, Rotom will tell us, screw off. That is amazing. And you know, this is going to become a big part of the anime. This is going to be amazing. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm just going to stop talking and just leave you guys with that. Goodbye.